In this Elden Ring Nightreign video, we're going to be taking a look at the Everdark Tricephalos boss fight. We're going to be talking a little bit about things that work in that fight, about the fight itself. We're also going to be taking a look at the new Relic that comes with it. This is actually a really good one. I don't know if From Software saw our video last week or just general commentary online about how weak the reward relics have been, but this one is actually pretty good. So we'll talk a little bit about that first. So the Dark Knight of the Beast relic has stamina recovery upon landing attacks +1, which is better than if there is no +1. I don't know exactly how much stamina this gives you back, but it works for like basically any attack that's not a spell, as far as I can tell. Like it works on Iron Eye, it works on any melee character, so that's really good. And taking attack improves attack power, I believe is 15%, if I'm not mistaken. This increases your damage. It's either 10% or 15%. When you take damage for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, something like that. It's really, really strong on anyone that's going to get hit regularly, like a Wilder or a Raider, boosting their damage, because especially Raider takes damage a lot. Because of his skill where he just basically tanks through a hit and takes very little damage. It's good on him, but it's also very, very good on Wilder. And then fire attack power up +2 increases your fire damage by 6.5%, which is not a small amount. And I think when people first hear the fire attack power up with these other bonuses, your natural inclination is to think this would go really well on Wilder, which obviously it is a very good relic for Wilder. There's no doubt about that. But he doesn't do as much fire damage as you think. The +12 fire damage from his weapon buff, if you have that relic, is not a lot. 6% of that is not much. It's like 1 damage, maybe. And the relic that gives him the fire on his ultimate ability isn't that much fire either. Like that relic or that attack has a lot of physical damage involved in it. So it's not boosting his damage as much as you'd think. It still boosts his damage, which is good. And those other ones are fantastic for him anyway. So I definitely think this is going to find a home in a lot of Wilder builds. But I also think this is just really good for a lot of characters that are playing melee or even an Iron Eye, because of the stamina recovery. And Iron Eyes do get hit sometimes, particularly if you're playing like solo, you're going to get hit sometimes. And if you had like a fire bow, you could boost your damage a little bit. So there is that as well. Also, like if you're playing Revenant, like Revenant can use fire spells. She can melee. If you maybe put a little HP relic into her a little bit, that can increase her damage if she gets hit, and she can get stamina back when meleeing. So that can be really good for her as well. I think this is just a really solid relic all around. Now onto the boss fight itself. I didn't actually, this is Fex and Tier playing. I'm at Gamescom still, so just kind of narrating the video. But the boss fight itself seems really, really fun from what I can see from what they're playing. They both told me that it was really, really good. And it's just one of those fights that's not nearly as hard as the Libra fight, thank God. And it's definitely one I think a lot of people are going to beat on the first try. It's not overly complicated. It looks like, from what I've seen too, that it's a little bit more challenging solo than it actually would be multiplayer, just because of the nature of fighting 3 dogs at once, and the fact that he splits into those and you kind of have to take them all on at certain parts of this fight. But for multiplayer, it's just a really fun fight from what I can tell. And I honestly really like this boss design. It's one of my favorite bosses in general. It's not the hardest one, but in terms of fun factor, it's definitely a fun one to fight. So the main things to look out for in this fight are, obviously, he starts the fight and split up into 3. So at the beginning of the fight, you kind of got to be careful not to get just absolutely aggroed down. Like when you have the red dot on you in this fight, even in the regular version of the fight, you have a lot of attention on you, and you get attacks from off screen, and you can get juggled by repeated attacks in a row, and there's like fire AoEs that they do and stuff like that. So you got to be really careful to avoid those attacks. Using Holy in this fight is really, really good. This boss is weak to Holy damage. It's resistant to fire, so don't take fire damage. And also having fire resistance is not bad for this fight. But you can actually debuff the boss if you do enough Holy damage to him, which will kind of like reduce the aggressiveness of them, and I believe their damage as well. So using Holy weapons is absolutely ideal. Holy spells, etc. is good for this fight. After a bit of the ways into this fight, you have to watch out for this like big AoE nuke that he does that kind of reminds me of this same attack from the last boss. Like he kind of raises up and does this AoE attack that's all over the ground. It can be really devastating. And then he kind of like buffs himself, and you're gonna, he's gonna be more aggressive and do other attacks and stuff like that. And you just got to recognize that big nuke. And what I find works really well in this fight, honestly, is just, particularly when he's joined back together, is just kind of like alternating. Like if he's on you, I mean, this is a good strategy for a lot of bosses. If he's on you, like back away, just try and dodge his attacks and stay alive and let other people attack, and then just kind of, change around a bit. It seems to work really, really well. I mean, it's generally what we did in the regular version of the fight anyway, but you kind of got to be a little bit more strict about it because he hits a lot harder in this fight. And when you get a little bit further into the fight, he splits back up and he's like in buffed form and has more attacks and stuff. So it gets a little dicey there towards the end. But it's just a really fun fight overall from what I can see. And I definitely think this is going to be one that people enjoy a lot more than the Libra fight, because that fight was just ridiculous. But I'm really curious to see if they're going to do the end game boss, the final boss of the game, the final Night Lord, in some sort of souped up form. I think it has the potential to be maybe the hardest of all of them, although the Libra fight is still pretty tough. So we'll have to see. What do you guys make of this fight? Curious to hear from you guys. Can't wait to get you some news from Gamescom soon. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Thank you.